Welcome back. Now let's get you details of how COVID has impacted cricket. Well, all that India required was a draw at the 5th test, but that was not to be. In fact, they couldn't create history simply because the Manchester test had to be cancelled. There was a COVID scare at the visitors' camp, and that's when BCCI had to write to the ECB saying the players are not in a position to play any longer. Take a look.
A little over 2 hours before the scheduled start of the play, the 5th and final test between India and England was cancelled. There was already a lot of uncertainty regarding the Manchester test after COVID infiltrated their camp for the 3rd time this tour. And on this occasion, it was the second physio, Yogesh Parmar, whose positive test result sounded alarms for the Indian team. The Indians were worried. After all, the physio was a close contact for a number of players. And even though the game was given a go-ahead late on Thursday night, after the entire Indian squad tested negative, there was great anxiety in the Indian camp. India today accessed the letter written by the BCCI in which they highlighted their inability to play the 5th test to the ECB. The letter states how the safety and the well-being of the players were severely compromised and how there could be more cases during the 5th test. The letter also stated how the BCCI had no option but to not participate in the final test. The England and Wales Cricket Board had earlier released a statement that indicated India had forfeited the match. But an amended version was soon put out which said that due to fear of a further increase in the number of COVID cases inside the Indian camp, the visitors are regrettably unable to field a team. India are already without head coach Ravi Shastri, bowling coach Bharat Arun and fielding coach R. Sridhar, who all tested positive during the last test and are currently in quarantine in London. And with this latest positive case, the discomfort and anxiety in the Indian camp is understandable. With IPL less than 10 days away, rescheduling the 5th test during the current tour wouldn't have been a viable option for the BCCI, as it would have cost them hundreds of millions of dollars. ECB chief Tom Harrison has clarified that any rescheduled game in the future will be a standalone fixture and not a culmination of this 5-match series. The fate of the series, though, is still unknown, and the impact of the World Test Championship point will only be confirmed later. Sports Bureau, India Today.
Okay, there's been a scare within the Indian cricket team, but why is there so much of fear or so much of a concern? The reason is that the second physiotherapist of the Indian medical team has tested positive for COVID-19 and he was treating quite a few cricketers. And who are these cricketers? Let's take a look. Rohit Sharma was undergoing a knee treatment. Cheteshwar Pujara was undergoing an ankle treatment. Ravindra Jadeja was also undergoing a treatment. That was a knee treatment that the physiotherapist was extending help to Ravindra Jadeja. Mohammad Shami had missed the 4th test because of a niggle. So this niggle is also bothering quite a few players. Ishant Sharma too had missed the 4th test because of this niggle. Well, in spite of the Indian players returning with negative RT-PCR tests, the latest developments in England have cast a shadow of doubt over the resumption of the IPL season. Let's take a look at why. There is uncertainty, and here is why. IPL 2021 supposed to resume 5 days after the end of the England tour. Indian players were expected to fly out to Dubai on the 15th of September. As per the rules of the UK government, COVID-positive patients have to isolate for 10 days. And if any player tests positive later, they will have to stay back in England, and that would be a concern. COVID-positive persons then have to test negative twice in RT-PCR test, which means that the tests have to be done twice on any of these suspected or confirmed patients of COVID.